Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. So recently, about a couple weeks ago, I deleted social media off my phone. And there's a few reasons I did that, and I was just kind of curious and wanted to make a YouTube video explaining why I did it and why I think it might be helpful for you guys. So I'll get right into it. I deleted social media for a few reasons. The first one is a lot of times on social media, all the information you're getting, all the, I'm not the type of person that scrolls a lot, right? But, occasionally I'll scroll, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, whatever. I'm waiting for something. I'll just, pull up Instagram and scroll on a Reels or whatever. And I just felt like there was absolutely like no value from it at all, from scrolling, from looking at stories, from all this stuff. And it was kind of like a waste of time at all. And like, obviously, like we all come to this conclusion eventually, like, oh, we're wasting our time. But really, what I felt like it was doing, it was kind of seeding doubt in the sense of like my feed is very like, especially on my business account, not my private account, but my business account, my feed is literally just all entrepreneurship stuff, drop shippers, e-commerce, all this stuff like sales, all this stuff, right? So I'm scrolling and I constantly see people like, oh, this is the new business model, this is the new business model, this is what you have to do, this, and it's like, and I'm just getting like bombarded by all these different lead magnets and all these different things, and it's like I'm not getting any value out of it, like whatsoever. Like I'm just seeing people that, and sometimes you'll come across genuine people and all that, and I understand that, but for the most part, I just felt like it was just driving my mind in 700 directions at once. And I'd be, boom, boom, looking at this, I'm looking at that, now I'm looking at this, and it's like a lot of times we get trapped in that, realm of just like, oh, this is the next thing, right? The shiny object syndrome that I've made a few videos about before. But I really think that social media amplifies that, especially, nowadays where like you almost have to have a social media account, right? And I don't think having an account is bad. I'll say this. I think it's very valuable, especially if you have like a business one where you're posting and, you're throwing stuff up. I'll make another video on why I think that's important. But for the most part, I was able to build a ton of connections that I wouldn't have been able to build if it wasn't for social media. Literally just DMing people, talking to people, making connections, and building this network of people through social media. So it's very valuable if it's used correctly, right? But for me, it felt like it got to a point where it wasn't necessarily a distraction, but it was just taking my mind in multiple different directions. I guess you could say that's what a distraction is. But in a sense, it wasn't necessarily just, oh, I'm spending time on here. It's like I'm getting pulled in all these different directions, right? And then, obviously, yeah, I was spending time on there. Not like anything crazy. Maybe, as I said, like 15 minutes here, 30 minutes in total a day, maybe, if that, right? So yeah, there's that. And then I was like, okay, well, what can I replace this with, right? So replaced it with books, podcasts, instead of podcasts, I would say audiobooks. So that's kind of like what's taken the place of social media, right? Because you got to use that time somehow, and a lot of times, like in life, you're gonna be sitting there waiting for something to happen. You're gonna be in class and you're waiting for the teacher to do something, or you're doing something. Like instead of scrolling, like think about like what you could be doing that could be helping you. I mean, for me, I guess chess has also helped me because at least, it's like the typical thing where I know it's not there's worse things I could be doing than playing chess, right? But at least I feel like I'm being challenged mentally, which is something that I don't really often experience. And I don't say that from like this cocky perspective. I say it from a perspective of like a lot of what I do is just, especially in school, is just so mundane and so repetitive that, being able to play chess and like actually have to sit down and like genuinely think and analyze a position, analyze, whatever is going on, it really helps me. So yeah, that's kind of the main reason I deleted it. Also, I mean, I felt like, if it's easier for me to communicate through other means. Like I don't, a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you answer this on Instagram or answer that? Instagram is not for me, right? So that was Instagram. And then YouTube, I felt like especially, even on my computer, I've put metrics in so that I'm not just randomly scrolling. I have features on it. If you guys want, I can drop it in the description of this video. But basically what it does is, I only have the search bar on YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube, there's no like home screen. It's just a search bar. So I look for what I want to watch, right? Like if there's a person I want to see, or, like, oh, I want to watch Alex Hormozi. Oh, I'll type Alex Hormozi, right? So whatever it is, right? And that really helped me to actually focus a lot more. And occasionally I'll turn it off and go look at some other stuff. But for the most part, I tend to keep that on because it helps me like actually focus. Because on my computer, I don't know about you guys, but on my computer, the main distraction I have is YouTube, right? So that's that. I hope you guys, I wouldn't say delete you guys' social media accounts. I don't see the point in that. I think they're valuable if you can use them properly. But on your phone, I don't really think I need them. So that's this video. Hopefully there was some value in it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.